Hello, world. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, and I am Chris Aballo. Welcome to the show. Thank you for following, subscribing, watching, commenting, liking, giving the show 5 stars on podcast apps, all that good stuff. We're at the midway point of the 2025 run, episode 245. And if you want to support the show, click the link in the description and support us on Patreon. Flat $5, and you will get, definitely an interesting pre-show from today, which is going to carry on, right? Why are you looking at me like that? It's a guilty conscience. That's what it is. Anyway, joining me for this show, making a triumphant return, you know her, you love her, Ash Lazoo, the wax guru. There she is. She's making fun of all of you by like, that's her thing. Ash is tired, and that's partly on me. Not that I wore her out. Let's not start any rumors. But I am also have kind of been like, exhausted. I had rolling exhaustion all week, and I was gonna stop for coffee on the way to the studio, and her being caffeine dependent as well, 2 caffeine dependent podcasters who are in withdrawals right now. But I was gonna stop for coffee, but Ash beat me to the studio, and I was getting here like right on time when we were booked in, to use the term very loosely, forcing me to do air quotes. But I'm usually here first, and I wasn't because it's raining in New Jersey, which is also why my hair is like flaring out like crazy. But look at you. I know you just got colored, so you're like, look at me, I look so fancy for the show. Did you get it colored because you knew you were coming on the show?
No.
Damn. You could have said yes, and that just would have brightened my. There you go. Nice save. So anyway, I was like, I should get coffee on the way to the studio, but because Ash beat me here, I was like, just get to the studio. She needs it too, and that's the first yawn of this episode.
I'm trying hard to hide it.
I'm going to be doing a count. So there's going to be a count that's going to pop up every time Ash yawns because it's hilarious.
Every time.
There you go. So, it's Monday, but if you want to save the show Monday? For Friday or Saturday, really?
My days are so messed up. Don't
see, this is why coffee is handy.
Yeah.
But if you want to save the show for Friday or Saturday and do a shot every time Ash yawns, you will be loaded by the end of this 3-hour show. But anyway, was that you covering up? She keeps trying to do that, and you'll see in the pre-show, boy, so worth your Patreon support. But she kept doing this like I wouldn't notice. I'm right here. I could reach her. And she's like, I'm like, I know you're yawning. It's fine. Okay. If you're going to yawn, it's okay. So all right. I'll be counting the yawns, and the yawn count will pop up on screen every time she yawns too, which is going to be hilarious.
I'm going to try so hard not to yawn. What were you saying?
No, you know what? Go ahead. I look forward to your failure. Speaking of which, so that's actually one of the reasons that I want to talk to you about this stuff today. So we talk a lot about the things we're going through. Yeah. We do confide in each other a lot. We have a very, very sibling style relationship, of course. And
Chris is the big brother.
I am. And we also have talked about our healing journeys, to use a well-worn term, and even just kind of the peaks and valleys as we've gone through the last few years that we've been friends and family. But one of the things we both in the last, I'm going to say year and a half, because believe it or not, it's been a year and a half since that trip to Florida for your donation and that whole thing. I'll link to that in the episode description as well if you want to check that out. The trip Ash and I took in May of 2024 to Florida for her donation, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Not to rehash, but we literally did an hour and a half. Something like that.
Yeah.
And there's footage that I edited the show.
That was an excellent
show. Thank you.
I loved it.
But we literally recorded because we knew we were going to be documenting it and dedicating an episode of her show to talk about it. So it is you actually get to see real-time footage of a lot of what was going on. It's half documentary, half podcast. Anyway, we talk a lot about the stuff that we've kind of gone through. And one of the things we've been talking about lately is how we've kind of, in the last year and a half, how we've kind of gotten off track here and there.
Yeah.
Like both of us, last year in particular, and actually in the beginning part of this year, we were both lamenting how our fitness had kind of gone by the wayside a bit. And I'd said that to you last year. I was starting to get concerned. It was actually when we went to Florida, because I'm not like hyper vigilant about like, oh, I need to weigh myself all the time, but I would weigh myself every Monday. I was just in the routine of once a week to not drive myself crazy. I know there are people say, weigh yourself every day, weigh yourself 3 times a week. Blah, blah, blah. I've just been weighing every Monday just to see where I'm at. Obviously, there are variables. Your weight fluctuates by the day. So it's not necessarily the most accurate, but still just.
I weighed myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Damn. Should I start?
I'm not answering that question.
I
am not saying a word about a woman's weight. I know better than that.
What?
You think I made it to this age?
But should
by being reckless with the things I will and will not discuss with that? I'm just kidding.
I get it.
No, if you want, I mean, as somebody who's trying to get things back on track, I mean, yeah, you need to measure where you are. Go ahead. I see you holding back the yawn.
I'm not yawning.
I saw you literally went. I'm going to cut too close by that, just so everybody sees. Don't fight it.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead,
but don't apologize.
You weigh yourself every Monday.
It's part.
Shit.
This is a sleepy episode of the show. The super casual. By the way, quick tangent because there's a lot of ADHD on this couch.
Literally.
We're not wearing. We're in our. I came in and Ash is literally comfy. I mean, granted, she was where I'm sitting, but she's comfy. Her shoes are on the floor. She's in here in her socks. She got her sweatshirt on. Super comfy. And as we're sitting here, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take my shoes off too. I was like, this is going to be the sock episode.
Yes.
So we're both sitting here in socks. If you're like, what is a slumber party? Like, what are these two doing at like the studio? Which I keep threatening to do an episode like that one of these days, or a live stream of like an overnight something. We'll see. It's been discussed.
Boy.
Maybe it'll happen this year. I'm not saying it's definitely gonna, but there are ideas that have been kicking around. Anyway, I was saying to you back last May, we're going all the way back to what I said minutes ago.
I remember when we were in Florida.
Yeah, and I said, I've gained a pound every month. Like I'm up 5 pounds. And I was not being like a diva about it, but just saying, well, if I'm gaining, that means I'm not losing, I'm not maintaining. Like something is off. So I do kind of want to rein myself in. And then following that trip was, I mean, I hadn't kind of bounced back the way I hoped to. But then in August, I got COVID again. And then right after that, I had a foot injury, which also took me out as far as doing like cardio or even walking or anything like that. So the trend just kind of continued. And then I ended 2024 with my weight being not what it was the beginning of 2024.
Yeah.
And then this year's kind of been bouncing back. And I even noticed when I did the intro to the first show of this year a couple of weeks ago, even looking back at the video, I thought, I don't look my best. But having said that, I think it's important for us to talk about the acknowledgement of falling short and at the same time not being ashamed about it.
Right.
Because I feel like now what's going on culturally is everybody and it's existed for a long time, but now with social media where everybody's putting all sorts of everything out there, and there's a lot of there's jealousy, there's envy. It's also a lot of Schadenfreude where people can't wait until somebody fucks up.
Oh my God.
They can't wait until just like, oh, you got fit and you gained weight. Haha. And I'm not saying I have those people. I don't think anybody cares enough about me that I have haters. That suggests there's a lot of energy.
I do.
But,
yeah.
Well, I mean, I know they exist. I kind of don't think about it because I'm like, I don't know that anybody's putting that much energy into hating me. But
I've had people directly tell me.
Oh, no,
what happened? Did I send you that screenshot?
We're not going to put it up on the screen. Don't worry. I'm not that much of a dick.
I had an old trainer, and it was when I was getting back into the swing of things. Oop, sorry, I spit on you.
Did you?
I just go.
It's weird that I missed that because I'm fixated on your mouth so I can catch when you yawn. But go ahead.
So I had an old friend. So if you do want to put it, you can. I had an old friend. I was just starting to go back into the gym, and I posted a gym selfie. Well, first I had a video explaining like, I gained weight, whatever, and then the next picture was me at the gym. So in the video, they responded on Instagram saying what happened and sent it to me. And if you watch the video, you hear that I talked about having liver failure. I talked about almost having a heart attack, almost having a stroke, like so many health complications.
Yeah, there were a lot of health complications you had last year.
So I had to stop because when I would go to the gym, I would get chest pain. So I was like, all right, let me sit the F down.
Yeah.
And then the next picture, I get the whole, you need to come see me. So I was like, oh.
That's how everybody is. They literally just see the snapshot.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that's so horrible. Oh, what happened? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, my weight is not where it was at the beginning, almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 2 years ago. Like I was very happy with where I was fitness-wise right around the time The Out had its world premiere at the Smiley Castle Film Festival, which is mid-October 2023. I was very happy with how I looked at that time. But that was like consistency over time, which I'm a big believer in. So I'd been, I made exercise a priority. I cleaned up so much of my diet, like since early 2023, where here we are 10 months into the year. So yeah, things were pretty much on track. And then they just kind of got off track for a variety of reasons. And even this year, the stuff I've gotten into with having to move and having, to take care of my parents after my dad's car accident. And then at the same time, I'm looking for a new place, having a quick 6 weeks to do that, having to find a new car. Yeah, like it was a whole whatever. And I was like exhausted. Everything got settled by the end of March, but I feel like I didn't come back around fully. Not all the cylinders were running again until like the end of April. I felt like I was just running on like a very, very lean mixture.
Where was that shift that made you kind of want to jump back into your fitness? Because there's always some type of shift that happens where it's like, I have to take this serious. No matter what, I got to prioritize at least a walk every day.
The big thing for me was there wasn't like I could tell you the moment, but it wasn't like I remember the day. I remember where it was just in a moment when I was in the bathroom I don't remember if it was at night, in the morning. Frankly, doesn't matter. But I was in my boxers and was just going to like wash my face, or if it was at night, I was going to brush my teeth, wash my face, whatever the whole thing was. And I look, because in my apartment now, there's a big mirror. The bathroom count's very, very wide. So there's a mirror that takes up like half the wall of the bathroom. It's actually fancier than I need. But there's also like on the side, because I was used to just the mirror on the medicine cabinet, above the sink. But the medicine cabinet with the mirror is to my right when I'm facing the sink. So there's a mirror to the side. So I had my shirt off and I just look at like a kind of like a side angle of myself. And I was like, oh God, with my shirt off. And I'm like, this has to stop, man. This is not okay. And I did, like, just from that, between going to the, and this is only the last couple of months. I mean, summers have been abysmal in New Jersey the last few years.
Yeah.
The humidity's been off the charts. But it's something that I didn't really think about until at this point, a couple months ago, which is probably like the middle of summer. Like, idiot, you live in an apartment building now that has a fitness center. Like, at least just go do the treadmill. Like, I set that as a goal. I was like, first thing in the morning, doing 30 minutes on the treadmill.
Great that you have a fitness center there.
Totally.
Even if you can't sleep, just grab your phone, and if you're going to watch TV, just stick it on the Stairmaster, and just stick there, and that's it. Watch your movie.
Well, I even figured out my strategy, because I was just listening to music, but music I can kind of zone out. Like, music you can kind of put to the background, at least for me. I can kind of, go ahead. Just let it out.
It's like when you hold a hiccup, you hold your breath, you can stop a yawn. New theory.
Yeah, but it's probably going to do something to you biologically. So
yeah, I'm exhausted. All right, go ahead.
It's going to go to your neck if you hold it in. No, I'm just kidding.
No more double chins, all right? We're already subconscious. Try to contour it.
So anyway, that was my thought. Just go, like, you don't need to do a full workout, because I would do a full workout when I was going to the gym. The place I last lived, the house I was in for the last 6 years, I'd been going to a gym for the last few years, and it was like a 7-minute drive. It was not far away at all. But since I was going 3-4 days a week, I would go and do a whole workout routine and then follow it up with an hour on the treadmill. So it was a 2-hour commitment when I was going to the gym, but because I was only doing it a couple of days a week. But I thought, okay, don't dive straight in and also make yourself exhausted, because that's the other thing I've done in the past when I've kind of put emphasis on my fitness and the shape my body's in and all of that. Like a lot of people, like people do every January, go way too hard. And then I'm exhausted and sore, and then I don't go the rest of the week because my body hates me, because I tortured it, because I'm trying to lose all the weight in a day.
Yeah.
Which we all try to do. So I said, once again, getting back to the mentality of like consistency over time, I said, okay, just go and do 30 minutes on the treadmill as many days as you can.
Oh, no, I couldn't hold it back.
2.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So just let it out. Don't hold back. If you're going to do it on any show, it's going to be mine.
It's so ugly. Your nose flares and the fucking double chin comes and
you can cover
chinning.
your face if you want to, but like don't hold the yawn in.
Okay.
It's just funny because I'm going to cut it up. Like it makes like you look like I'm bored by everything I'm saying. You look like I'm boring rather.
You want to know my shift? And it's so stupid. It's so stupid. I ran into somebody who we're not a fan of one another. And I ran into this person and the bitch fucking giggled. And I'm like,
wow.
I was like, what is so funny? You know, so I was like, okay. People love to see your downfall. They love it. Especially if they don't like you. It's like, haha, the bitch got fat. You know?
And let's be honest, that's the reason Facebook exists, is to see how people you went to high school with have turned out.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but I know so many people do that. I don't do that. I only end up doing that because I've gotten a lot of requests from women I went to high school with who are now 3, who are now, divorced. They got a couple of kids, and maybe they see like, oh, he does some cool stuff, and he's kind of kept it together more or less. I certainly look better than...
I prided myself on keeping it together. 2 kids, been with the same man for 16 years. Still, I feel like I still look good. He still enjoys me.
You have a happy marriage.
Very, very happy marriage. And it's just, you forget about certain things, But after I had a surgery, about August, how long that is. And they had a cut through muscle, and they had a cut through everything. And I was so big, I looked pregnant. And for the first time, I had like this flap. I've never had a flap, ever. And let me tell you, that motherfucker was itchy. That stomach, the apron, that's what it's called. The apron, that little smiley face, it fucking itches. It was so itchy.
Wait, you talking about the fupa?
Yes, it was sweaty. And then I was like, just scratching away at it. And I'm like, Jacob, I'm like, what's wrong with me? And I'm just like scratching. I have never, ever. I was so disgusted with myself. Right back to the gym. I starved myself that week.
Oh, see, but that's and I know that's the impulse. It's
but it was because of surgery. It was swollen. It was gonna happen. But I was like, like this is not. I'm not. I was always petite, even growing up. Like my nickname, it's so fucking typical Puerto Rican, where it's like flaga. But that was literally my nickname amongst family members. They always mentioned how skinny I was. So.
Even after kids? There was never any residual...
that was when I was a child. Even after kids,
I'm saying as far as having any...
But no.
Really?
My daughter, I snapped back, had my abs again. My son took a little while. And then it's just life, man.
And that's it. But I feel like that's where...
It's always fluctuating. That's why I always get self-conscious of this thing. I could be skinny, like skinny. I'll still have this damn... It's my jaw. You see how this goes in like this? Yeah. I hate it. I want this chiseled like...
I mean, I do that now, granted. We have the advantage of lighting. So, it's like the look is a really strong jaw.
Like, am I going to have jowls when I get older? I just want this to just...
Well, look, I've thought about that too, because and this happens as men age anyway. And
turkey neck?
And I am aged. Well, yes, the turkey neck thing. But I've never had the straight back to the neck and then straight down. I've never had this completely flat and then flat, like a sharp angle.
Yeah.
Underneath my jaw, straight down my neck. But that's just the composition of the neck. But I'm just like, what happens when this thing gets loose? Am I going to look horrible? And is it something I would
facelift? If you got the money, fucking do it.
Well, I'm going to do it. When people do that, but I don't get mad when people do that.
I'm not against plastic surgery at all.
No, neither am I.
Do what makes you happy.
Totally. That's what I've said. I've had, particularly with men, I've had friends who are just like, oh, it's
it's so taboo with men.
Well, it's also, I feel like less so now. I feel like Gen Z is all about yes, try to make yourself look as good as possible because the amount of kids in their 20s getting
that's insane.
Implants
you have to grow
all
into
sorts
your
of
body.
shit. Dudes getting hair transplants and whatnot. But friends of mine who are my age, dudes where the residents are moving out of the penthouse and they're just like, oh, but I don't know, I don't want to get a toupee. I'm like, who cares? Get one of those things that glues to your head.
So
guys
up and
don't care.
Though. You can really make a toupee look good.
Because it doesn't look like anymore. Because it's not like the bad, I know you don't watch movies, but in Goodfellas, where he has the super obvious toupee, or What? Have you seen
really
Goodfellas?
I don't know.
Okay, so then never mind. Okay, but everybody else knows what I'm talking about. Where it's like Maury's, toupee looks like a toupee. It doesn't look natural. But like now it's all that's all TikTok sells. I mean, they're probably not legit, but it's all like, get these, things where you just like guys shave your head and it like sticks to your head like suction and it just blends in. But there are guys who are obviously insecure about that. I'm like, go ahead, do it. What's the big deal? Like, if it's going to make you feel better, that's fine. It's not, and I'm not talking about these are not like people in show business. They're not actors, not people who get on camera, anything like that.
Good.
But yeah, I'm like, dude, if it makes you feel better, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Like, don't be inhibited about it because it's like it's your life and it's your body. And
it's
if you
when
choose
people care too much about what other people think. I really don't. I've never have, and I'll overshare a little too much sometimes. But it's who cares. I
agree. But the backslide.
Yeah.
People do get a lot of joy from when somebody, like that's the person off. Where it's just like, oh, she fell off, she's not in shape. And like I've said, I'm not crazy about the shape I'm in right now. I'm using my leg as subterfuge to cover up the
and I'm wearing all black.
The middle. Yeah, exactly. Well, I wear black shirts all the time. No, but honestly, it's something where I'm like, okay, but this is also just a phase. It's not going to be this way. And that's the other thing I think about too, where it's just like this, this too shall pass. No matter how good things are, this too shall pass. No matter how bad things are, this too shall pass. And that's something that...
And tables always turn.
Yeah.
So while you're laughing at somebody today...
Exactly. And life is peaks and valleys.
Yes.
So there are times when things are... like I couldn't... With having COVID, which just like knocked me on my ass, and then followed that with a foot injury, like I didn't. There was like 2 months where I did like no working out whatsoever. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, I got to get back on it. And then it's, getting over the hump of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, now it's easier because my whole thing with when I said I'm going to do 30 minutes on the treadmill in the morning was first thing. So right next to my bed, there's my clothes, my sneakers are by the door, and it's just like slip into it, and you go down.
That's perfect.
Downstairs and just do 30 minutes first thing in the morning, so it's done. And I felt better. I didn't feel exhausted because 30 minutes, I didn't really feel it. So that was a good thing for me, where I was like, I don't feel a strain. Exactly. So I was doing it 6 days a week, and I thought, oh, this is so much better than doing an hour. Now, obviously, I was working my way up.
Your joints start hurting.
Fucking tell me about it.
Yeah, my hips hurt when I do that. Okay.
Do you need the whole couch? Should I sit on the floor? Because, all right. Damn. No. I'm not your husband. Point and think I'm going to listen. Shit.
Imagine.
I don't know who you think you're talking to.
That's terrible. Okay, that's better.
Oh, yeah, but you didn't hesitate, though. That wasn't even a heartbeat in between when I said you want me to sit on the floor.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Man, I'm not. No. But I feel like, if you lay down, I'm tempted to give you the couch just so that way you can actually nod off, because that would be very funny. And it would be the second time it's happened on the show.
Get like a little snore.
But the going through the literal ups and downs. Yeah. It's something that is part of life. Yes, it's great to get to a place where you can maintain, but no matter what your plans are, shit happens. That's what it is. Goodness, all the time. And you get sick. And it even happened to me in September. I was sick, and I was like down for. That's actually what broke my 6 days a week going on the treadmill streak. Was, damn it, I got a cold.
You had to give your body time.
And so for a week I was just coughing and I couldn't exercise. I said, don't do it. It'd be very easy to, and I did, at the end of the week, I did go and do a session and I was okay, but I still didn't feel 100%. So I said, okay, no, you back off. Like, let your body get over this and you will get back on, especially since I had momentum. And that's the other thing too, that I think people forget, like, oh my God, but if I stop doing this, like I'm going to lose. When working on anything, here comes number, is it 3 or 4?
Oh, I was doing so good. Shit. Okay.
He's doing a monologue and it's so boring.
No.
He's carrying on about him getting fat. But I'm trying not to make a plastic bottle noises, which is why I'm being like trying to be slick and everything. But anyway, I just don't. I've been better about like not getting down on myself, like when things get off track, because that's exactly what happens, and just everybody goes through it. And right now, everybody is going through it. I mean, it's been a theme for the last couple of years.
Yeah, everybody's going through
where
something.
Everybody, and right now, more than last year, more than the year before. Like, everyone's just busier. Everyone's more tired. Everyone's stretching themselves thinner.
Yes.
And it's difficult. So I've gotten better about giving myself grace when it comes to, you know what? Okay, you've fallen off now, but if you miss a day or a couple of days or a week, no matter what you're working on, you haven't lost all momentum. That's the other thing. People are like, oh, I need to keep going. Oh, I need to, to stick with, whether it's through diet or something like that. People don't want a day or a meal where like they fall off or something. I tried that actually when in most of last year. I'd started using a calorie, like a meal tracking app that a friend had recommended. And I felt, not that it was giving me like an eating disorder, but I was thinking about food all the time. It was like, what can I eat? What can I eat? Am I hitting my macros? All that. And I was actually getting, it was.
It's obsessive.
Exactly. And it made me think about food more, which was a troubling thing, where I was worried about like, oh, I need to see, how many grams of sugar does it have? Oh, how much, how many calories is this? Oh, how many I've had? Like, I was thinking about it all the time.
And it was like in the other way. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, I'm just going to keep the count. I'm not going to call them out. The count's just going to show up right in front of you. But yeah, it made it work. I mean, I do want to get back on it because I feel like I'm better about it. Even just
I feel like I like to eat whatever I want to eat. I'll have a smaller portion. Like, it's the portion control. It's not so much you can't. I mean, granted, you got to eat healthy, but eat what you want because it's. When I used to track all of that, I was miserable. I was moody. Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I want a fucking piece of cake, but I got to settle for yogurt? Be for real. No.
Plain Greek yogurt with nothing in it? Yeah.
Nope.
No, and same. But I've gotten better about acknowledging the exception because I'll tell... A friend of my joke is like, you're not a stoner, but you eat like one. I like Pop-Tarts. I won't have them all the time, but once in a while when I want them, I'll have them. I don't buy a box of them, keep them in the house. But if I'm out at the store, particularly like a convenience store where they just sell, the package of two.
My favorite.
Go ahead.
Snowballs.
Oh, yeah?
You remember Zombieland?
Yeah, of course.
When the guy's like, snowballs, where's the fucking Twinkies?
That's you?
I like snowballs.
It's funny? I always get them like seasonally. Like,
and I always think about
orange
Zombieland.
For Halloween. They're green for St. Patrick's Day. Like,
I love snowballs.
Yeah, like when they color the coconut, which is probably terrible for you. But no, once in a while, and I get it. Or like we're in Jersey, Tasty Cake. Like I do love Tasty Cake. I love the baked pies especially. And I know it's 300 calories I don't need, but once in a while, like it's fall.
Yeah.
The pumpkin cheesecake baked pies are out right now. I don't get one every time I'm in the store and see them, but once a week, sure.
Coconut custard.
I'll let myself have 3 calories, or 300 calories. Like I'll let myself have one of them. Why not?
Portion control. Just
and even just the exceptions. Like you can have something like that.
Yeah.
Like you could leave.
Don't torture yourself with a diet.
And even that I try to be better about. Where I thought like, okay, if I leave 10% of my calories for fun, whatever it is, if I want to have a bottle, because for me, let's say average male would be like 2,500 calories. Okay, if I have a bottle of soda, fine. Which I've been drinking less and less. I've actually
they have those mini cans.
Yeah, but that's just not that.
Or even a seltzer, you just squirt.
Well, that's
the additive, whatever, in it.
But that's why I was so big on Liquid Death as well, though, because there's only 20 calories per can. There's only 4 grams of sugar in it, which was just agave syrup. Yeah, exactly. I mean, now it's been reformulated, and now all the flavors are sweetened with stevia. Just tastes like diet soda to me now. So unfortunately, I'm not drinking the flavored Liquid Deaths anymore, which is a drag. The teas and the sodas. Although, we'll see. Maybe I'll circle back to them because
the water was just the plain water.
Oh, the water's fine, but I'm saying like the flavored. You'd always see me the different cans, like on the show. I would have them, or even like the iced tea. And now it just tastes like diet soda. I'm still not a fan of like the diet soda taste. Like the aftertaste, maybe I can tolerate stevia more than I used to, and with backing off sugar. Like, but if I do, let's say I got like a bottle of Dr. Pepper or something, like I wouldn't drink the entire 20-ounce bottle in one sitting. I'd maybe drink half and then be like, I'm good.
Okay.
And then I'll drink the other half like a day or two later because, you don't want to go flat. But I'm also not the person who's, because I know people who would do that, who like they buy a bag of M&Ms, they eat like 5 and then they throw the bag out. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, that's just being wasteful. Like, you don't need to do that. If your self-control is that bad, like it's a deeper problem. And like, don't have 5 M&Ms. Like you can have, I don't know what the serving size is, but like you can have 100 calories of M&Ms or something like that, or 200 calories. But that's why I'm like, if 10% of my calories, like a taste cake or something like that, like not every day, because that's, again, consistency over time, that's going to, be a negative. But I thought, if that's once or twice a week, let it out. If that's once or twice a week, but I try to keep it to like once a week. Yeah, go ahead. Same even with getting dinner out. Like my plans tonight, unfortunately, didn't play out. So like I'm not going to dinner tonight, but that was my thought. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out after the show. Maybe we do go get tacos. Maybe we should. Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe we will. Maybe plans aren't off after all. So anyway, yeah, that's something that I know you and I were struggling. Yeah, I've struggled with, because we're both not happy with like where our bodies are at right now. We've been kind of getting back on track, but it's been life be lifing. Sounds weird coming from an old man, but that's exactly what it has felt like lately.
Happens. It knocks us down sometimes, and that's the thing about being a human, is you gotta
and you have to kind of
go with the flow.
Yeah, you have to make room for that, because it happens.
When you fight the current, when you fight the current and not feel what you feel, that's when it gets worse. You know what I mean? It's right. You have to be able to feel like I know what made me fall out. Mm-hmm. And it was, donating bone marrow, and then it was having the health issues, and then getting just so sad about that. And then, you gotta give yourself space to just be sad, go through the motions, and then jump back on the horse, Yeah.
Well, that's it. And, it's one of the things, I have a couple of things that I made notes about for today, but it's like, this is an example, like productivity is not linear. I don't remember where I heard it, but I have that in my notes for what you and I talk about it. And that could be with anything. Things go up and down. It's not necessarily a straight line. It's, things don't necessarily go like up, and they just keep getting better. That happens to everybody. It's a roller coaster. Right. And there were things that are out of control. I mean, it's been 5 years since COVID, but that was what everybody, I know. And, but that's something where that stuff, okay, you have no direct control over, but then everything, and I feel like that's what has kind of shaken everybody up as a result of like, everything I thought was fine. Like that stuff can happen, and everything overnight can literally just change and go away, and your daily life can be interrupted. Granted, that was on a global scale, but stuff like that very much happens all the time. Like that was something else I was discussing with it's repeatedly come up in terms of different things, in part when it comes to even looking around for like a new apartment and all that. Obviously, I'm paying more rent than I used to, even though I'm in a smaller space. I'm in an apartment, not a house, but that's it. Things are different now, and the cost of everything. And I checked all over like the top half of New Jersey, and everywhere's the same.
Crazy.
Everywhere is the same. You're paying, in the 2000s for a one-bedroom apartment.
Something very small.
Yeah. And talking about that with people, and the kind of disbelief of like, I can't believe it costs this much and blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. Now, granted, I'm single. I live on my own. But everyone I know, I only know one of my friends owns a house. I mean, I'm talking about like in the immediate like area, like one of my close friends owns a house. Everybody else is renting. Now, and you can say this because you've been coupled up for a long time, everybody's household is also a 2-income household. And there is not a single couple I know where if one of them got laid off, there wouldn't be a struggle.
Yeah.
That's also where we're at. Like if you guys went down to suddenly just a single income for either one of you, would be like, oh, it's going to be tough.
It'd be tight.
Like we're going to have to, it would be tough. And that's the situation everybody's in right now where, and I've said that, I'm like, well, yes, I'm above the average age where people are usually married, but I said it's also just different. You can't really compare, because everybody right now, compared to say our parents, where it could have been just, the dad went to work and the mother stayed home, all that. Like every married couple I know, or every, people in long-term serious relationships, they're all 2-income households. That's how everything is. And that's required just for maintenance. That's not like we're buying a boat or we're buying a summer home. It's not that. It's 2 incomes because that's what's required to get through right now. And that's taking its toll on everybody too.
Yeah, you have to have a job, a side hustle, and a little something illegal on the side.
That's the crazy.
It's crazy.
That, honestly, that was the thing. And I was talking to my sister about this, who's also lives on her own, and just saying about how, in terms of, with things being tight and everything, in the inflation's real and just everything else. And I even mentioned her, like, because I still do it. I'll still go out and work on the apps and whatnot just to bring in some extra money, even on a weekly basis. Like, who doesn't need an extra $50 a week or $200 a month? Yeah. Everybody can use an extra $200 a month. Like, why not go out for 2-3 hours a week on one of these apps and just pick up a few extra bucks? So I was talking to her about that, and this was another, discussion where it came up where it's like, well, yeah, Dad worked when we were growing up. My mom didn't work till I was in high school.
Times are very different.
Yeah, and I said, so they didn't, and they were also married in their 30s. So I said they had, it was different. Mom was able to handle the bills. Dad was able to go work. They were even able to divide that responsibility. Now, I don't know that that's being completely handled by one person. But aside from that, in talking about, like, yeah, she's at the point where, like, that her one job may not be enough because her annual increases in pay aren't proportionate to inflation and cost of living and all that other stuff. And I said, unfortunately, that's where things are in 2025. You need to have a job, you need to have a side hustle, and whatever you're passionate about, you need to figure out how to monetize that. Like, and I feel like that's such a negative, and not negative. I think
it doesn't make it fun anymore.
No, but I think it's like also...
Your passion's supposed to be a passion. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to, you do it because you enjoy it, not I have to do this and find a way to make money out of it because I have to survive, because if I don't make money out of it, then I can't survive.
Right.
It's like this,
so then it's now it's just a third job.
Yeah.
And that's where I get, I don't want to say it's, toxic's such an overused word right now, but just the idea in the culture that that's the way everything has to be. It's just like, you need to be making money. You need to be stacking bills. You need to make sure you blah, blah, blah. And I get it when it comes to if there's some kind of goal, but like, is this all we're perpetually supposed to do? It's like we're supposed to work, and then we're also supposed to work on apps inside. There's a great video I saw, which actually was on the back of another video I saw, in saying how, the analysis of the is actually done by a YouTuber who I enjoy, who's Gen Z, and he was talking about the struggle in their 20s. Like, there is no job security. Everybody's competing for the same couple of jobs. There's a crowd of people going for one job. And it's also like, but to get by, if we do get that job, we still got to, like, deliver people their Caesar salad.
That, and some jobs don't respect the degrees anymore. You can have your bachelor's and it's like, oh, okay.
Because it's so common.
Yeah.
I was saying that like 15 years ago. It's like, well, bachelor's degrees kind of don't mean anything. Even that was my struggle even, 10 years ago when I was looking for jobs in California. It's like, yeah, but you don't have a bachelor's degree. I'm like, it's data entry. Like, it's, I remember there was one that I didn't, that was a requirement, and then I didn't hear from them. It was like bachelor's degree, and it was to work in a call center, receiving incoming calls, helping customers for a bank, at a bank's call center. And it was $17 an hour, and I'm like, that's not like an incredible, especially because in Southern California, sure as hell wasn't even 10 years ago, but it was like, why do I need a bachelor's? What could I have done for 4 years in college that's going to help me in a customer service job, receiving calls from people calling about their bank accounts or whatever? Like, that doesn't even make sense. The idea that degrees are required for everything. That's kind of changed some industries, like airline pilots don't require a bachelor's degree, which is fine because it's a specific field with specific training. You don't need 4 years of college to become a pilot. I don't know about all airlines, but I know there are a bunch that no longer require that.
I didn't know that.
Because it just kind of became this... it became like an unquestioned, like, well, this is just the way things are. Like, well, of course you need to have a college degree. It's like, why? College degrees don't mean as much as they used to.
And I wanted to go
because
back
they're
to
not
school,
as
but I'm not getting into debt. I only have $3,000 left to pay my student loans. I'm not going back to school. My credit score is beautiful. So I'm like, we'll stay with what we have.
Even people I know who've gone back to school, in the last 10, 15 years, let's say since I'm going to say 15 years, because 2008, 2009 was the Great Recession.
I remember that.
Since then, everyone I know who went back to school, who like worked and then took night classes and got a degree in something else, they're still not working in what they got their second degree in, aside from whatever they got their bachelor's in at college when they were 22. So it's another thing where it's, well, not, and for my, me with creative pursuits and all this other stuff, I thought, really, I'm not doing worse than anybody else. I don't have the 2-income household like, my married friends have. But again, it's still, okay, we all went on different paths, and mine was definitely outside the ordinary, just in the various things I pursued. But I'm not in worse shape than most of the people I know, regardless of kind of what everybody has pursued. But but with that has come the fact of, with getting, because we've been saying about getting older and aside from the joints hurting and all that. Like literally right now, from resting my leg on my knee, I'm like,
the other one went numb.
I need to, I'm like, I'm stretching too hard. This hurts. Ow. So I need to adjust myself for the next
my
thing.
hip hurt. That's why I had to start sitting like this.
Yeah, well, you've adjusted position repeatedly for the 2 hours we've been sitting here. But when it comes to goals, and I know that's a loaded phrase for a lot of people, but one of the things I've had to do, and I know you've had to do the same thing, is kind of reassessing your goals, because part of it is so many of us will pursue something and just be on a track and never like question it or see like if it's still something I want to do.
Yes.
And I mean, I think about that in terms of me, once again, 10 years ago out in California. I mean, there was a point where even with me, when I was doing a version of this show in 2015, but I remember thinking I was envious of people working for, like these YouTube channels or doing these different things and thinking, oh God, if I'd only get this job, oh man, I'd love to have that job. And that wouldn't have it looked good compared to where I was at the time, but ultimately it wouldn't have got me any closer to anything.
Yeah.
And it's also strange to think those people aren't doing those jobs anymore. Like all the people, the different like film-centric YouTube channels and things like that I follow, like none of those people are working for those channels anymore. Most of them don't even live in Southern California anymore. A lot of people left, once again, after the pandemic and things kind of got all out of whack. A lot of those people completely left Southern California. So I thought, this wouldn't have gotten me where I wanted to go anyway.
Yeah.
And even the reassessing goals, like have you found yourself being on autopilot and then saying, is this something I still want for myself anymore? Because I don't don't know if this is the direction I'm trying to go in anymore, because I find myself having to do that a lot of times. I still do. With literally, as of today, things have changed when it comes to something I'm working on. And I'm like, I think I may need to do something different next.
Yeah, that's a very loaded man.
I know you're tired of it all,
I've had moments where I just know I could just be standing right there and I would tell my husband, like, this has to change. Like, I don't like this. This got to change. And not so much with our relationship. Again, like, we do have a great relationship. It's more the everyday. I don't like schedules. I'm not a schedule person. And my kids need it. If they don't have a schedule, so it's just, I'm trying to find, because we have ADHD in the house, we have autism, we have things that one needs structure and order and the other one needs more loose type of everyday life.
Right.
And it gets so chaotic. And I'm like, all right, something here has to change because I'm out of whack, because you're out of whack. And then if I'm out of whack, then you're going to be out of whack. So then now everybody's out of whack because mom's not okay. So in order for mom to be okay, mom got to figure something out because this shit ain't working. And it's exactly like that. So goals change, but in a sense where as soon as I start feeling unhappy, I put the pause, reassess, reevaluate what's working, what's not working. And a lot of times it's outside factors. It's never in the house. It's never in the home. It's never that. It's outside factors where all that extra energy comes in and it affects my household. And when my household is affected, everything just kind of tumbles.
Yeah.
So that's where I reassess, where I'm like, all right, my home is my safe haven. When that starts to get disrupted, I have to start looking outwards and seeing what needs to get fixed. And a lot of times it's from me inviting, I don't want to just say people, just inviting certain scenarios in, whether it's gossip, whether it's just somebody that I brought around and into a circle that didn't belong in there in the first place. So when the goals, what was the question? When the goal changes?
When it no longer serves you and you're like, okay, we need to change things up because this is no longer what we're trying to do.
What's disrupting the everyday way of life that causes us to kind of have some friction.
Right. I mean, and people can be a big part of that too.
Yeah.
I've had to take stock of some people.
You got to watch your circle.
Yeah.
I mean, and people won't have bad intentions, but it's just
when
somebody's not happy for themselves, they can't be happy for you. And if they don't know what they want in their lives and they disrupt your life because You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You invite chaos in when.
Well, at the same time, I've gotten better out of necessity, but I'm glad I did, of just realizing it's not to do with me. Like I'm not taking it personally. Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to depersonalize it because it feels so personal. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh my God, how can this person like? There's been some things recently where like people aren't showing up for me in the way I've shown up for them. And not that I need them to do that. It's not like it's, I need reciprocation kind of thing, when it comes to friends or things like that. But I thought just in terms of communicating, it's like, hey, I'm asking you something, like, you're not even getting back to me. Like, come on, why not at least, and if you do, and I try to at least respond to people the same day. Sometimes it'll be the following day, but I'm like, if it's a week and you haven't responded to me, it's like, come on, man, that's kind of weak. And I know the idea of, oh, I'm busy. Yeah, we're all busy. And I used to resist that, but now I'm at a point where it's like, everybody is busy. We are all busy. We are juggling things, but we're also on these all the fucking time. We're looking at these too much. So don't be like, oh, I didn't see your message. Oh, I didn't do that. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, yes, it happens on occasion, but when it's happening, when the same people are consistently inconsistent, then it's, what?
Don't get me going on a rant.
I get it. Well, but that's why I support this. See, that reminds me. There's another quote that I saved because I said, oh, Ash is going to love this. I don't remember who I heard this from, but it was a quote from somebody named Trent Shelton. Boundaries are not walls to keep things out. They are bridges to let the right things in.
I like that.
And I said that is perfectly
You have to send
Ash.
that one to me. Yeah,
For
I like
sure.
that one. I'm big on boundaries. Mainly because, and I said it before, it doesn't have to be like this electric fence. It's just, a suggestion. Please respect this. And when you don't, it's like, all right, now you're playing in my face.
Right.
Now we got a problem. But I love boundaries. They're great.
Well, that's one of the things that's gotten misinterpreted with all the therapy speak on social media, which you and I have lamented about so many times. Everybody,
the overuse, boundaries, boundaries, toxic, narcissist.
Well, and that's exactly it. Like everything is about boundaries. So it's become something that like people get angered when you say something like boundaries. But that's what I'm saying. Like, no, it's not something about like to keep people out.
Yeah,
it is about like, okay, what is healthy for me, and not like a self-preservation kind of way. But it's in the case of like there are some people I've realized, I'm telling you, just in the last couple of weeks, where it's, okay, I need to put a boundary there because like when you have asked things of me and like I've like shown up for you, but like you can't respond to a text message, that is not
it's
okay.
Hurtful. It's very hurtful.
Well, it is. And I'm like, all right, well, if that's how it is, then I get, and I'm not just like saying, well, this is a selfish person. I don't want anything to do with them. That's not being a friend. And like, I'm not even trying to get into all that. I'm just saying like, okay, you're about your business. Cool. And now I know that, so I will act accordingly. And that's not a way of being negative. That's not putting any negative energy, sounding hippy-dippy about it. But I feel
like there's a fine line. Because I get it, people go through things. And I know personally, when I go through something, I completely close off. I go within, and I can't speak to anybody, especially if it's somebody close to me, because I'll just start crying and then it turns into a spiral. And it's not anything that I would want to do or have, but I have had moments where I've completely gone silent. And it's not just, but you don't see me ignoring somebody and then posting stuff and posting picture. Like, no. When I'm completely silent, where you see no posts, no messages, no outgoing calls, I'm not even going to work, and it's crickets, there's a problem. And I'm sure when you talk to somebody enough, you notice when there's a problem.
Right.
But there's a fine line. That's why I'm like, there's a fine line, because some people are so much absorbed into themselves that they don't have the extra energy to just answer a text message.
Yeah.
It sucks, because it's like, that's when just giving grace and being kind can go a long way, but sometimes I don't want to be kind. I'm tired. I'm so tired of being kind.
And that's it.
I have moments where
I try to check in with myself about that stuff too, where it's like, okay, am I being too judgmental? Am I not giving this person grace the way I would want to be giving grace? All of that stuff, I try to be measured about it. I really do. And again, I try not to let negativity affect how I feel about that person.
You're one of the most level-headed friends I know. That's why.
Well, that's why you and I go back and forth about this stuff all the time. And that's why. And you've called me like, am I wrong about this? Like we talked about someone, a mutual recently, and you were like, you felt like it was about you. And I said, given what this person's going through, like there's a lot that has happened within the last week. I said, I'm sure it has nothing whatsoever to do with you. So I wouldn't even read into it. Let's see. And that's another thing that I've kind of had to accept, as I've told you about and kind of caught you up on some things recently. It's like there's certain people too where it's like even that goes in phases. Even your friendship goes in phases. And I thought, you know what? I hope people are doing well and hopefully they'll come back around. And if they don't, that's okay. I'm not putting any energy towards it. I'm not putting, it's nothing negative attached. It's just like
what it is.
Like I hope you're taking care of yourself and that's fine. It doesn't mean I need to reach out and I need to be the one extending the olive branch or anything like that.
Fuck that shit. I'm tired of that sometimes. I'm sorry. No, I get so tired of being nice. Can we just say that? Like nice people I get taken advantage of all the fucking time and I'm so fucking tired of it. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's not nice. It's You're a good person. It's not you're nice. Nice people are phony. You're actually a good person and you're genuine. Yes, you're kind.
Okay, kind.
And that's it. Like that means something though. And there are people who are happy to take kind people for everything they're willing to give. And it's tough.
But what's frustrating is that the second, so everybody knows Ash, right? Ash is kind. Ash shows up. But when you meet Ashley, it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, because I will tell you, I'm so good at communicating on how I feel. If I do truly cherish a friendship or relationship or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna tell you what behavior you showed me that hurt me, and people can't take that. If you turn around and say, "Chris, you hurt me when you did this," it's so abrasive to some people sometimes because
they think you're being confrontational instead of discussing it. And even that's something I found out. It's in some ways, for some people it's been positive where we're able to talk about things in ways where we didn't have the language for it years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But there are some people who completely resist that and are just like, they
Let
think
me give this person space so they can stop talking about their feelings.
Well, it's also like some people think you're going on the attack. It's like, no, it's not about that. I'm trying to untangle this knot. There's a knot. Can we take care of this and actually talk about it and get past it? Because that's the other thing, about kind of feeling, and again, it's gonna sound so hippy dippy, but like feeling your feelings and processing them. But that's how you get. But that's how you get past them.
Yeah.
It's what people say. When it comes to grief. People don't grieve, and then they're carrying that around with them. It's whether you're talking about like heartbreak or disappointment or anything negative. Like you need to feel it and process it and move on. Because when you carry on that stuff, it doesn't go away. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
I grieved a friendship for 2 years. Let me tell you, it was hard. It was so hard.
Yeah.
And I talked about her multiple times because I couldn't get past my head how you could be so good to somebody and they could just take advantage and treat you like dirt or just not care.
Yeah.
That grief is real, and you can't work it away. You can't absorb yourself and keep yourself busy and think it's gonna go away. When you sit down, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah.
As soon as you get that silent moment to yourself.
Well, that's it, but you have to deal with it.
You have to deal with it.
That's exactly the point. Like you should actually feel it and be like, all right, that's it. Because it's easy. It's easy for all of us to act as if.
Yeah.
And that's also the thing everybody likes to put up, and that's why,
everybody likes to look tough.
That's a problem. And look like unfazed, and either like people go, and again, that's part of social media. It's like people, their issues are their entire identity and what they're dealing with, and like other people is their whole thing, or it's not. And look, social media is another area where like I've backed off of social media for the most part, because I haven't posted. And it's so funny, like people have, and I'm like since the beginning of 2025, like I posted very little on my personal Instagram account where I used to post all the time. I used to post like stuff in stories every day, and I kind of haven't been putting the energy into it because I'm just not. I've been living in the 3D world. The 2D world on our phones is a poor substitute for the actual world. And I thought the time I'm spending, and part of it is I actually get the report every Sunday about how much I've used
and it
apps.
shows you.
And I thought there were weeks where I saw, and I know this is nothing because people have talked about like having to put limits on like their TikTok use and all that. When I saw like, 8 hours on Instagram last week, I was like, oh my God, I spent over an hour a day on Instagram. And I know that's
not a
nothing.
lot.
No, I know it's not a lot. But for me, I just thought, I could have gotten so much more done that would have been positive. So I've just kind of backed off of just like, okay, well, I'm going to post stuff that's important to me, and like I haven't anything super personal to say that I've been putting out there. I mean, same like I'm not going to post about like, oh my God, my dad's been in a car accident, but he's okay, and and do all that right at the beginning of the year. Just like, oh my God, I got to find a place to move by April 1st, and hey, what am I going to do? I
the attention seeking.
Yeah, I'm just not about that because like I'm not looking for. I know people.
Let me just shut the fuck up.
What? We're not naming people.
There's people that love to play the victim.
That's what I mean. People create their entire identity around like, I'm going through this or blah, blah, blah. And like now, and I see that all the time. And I keep comparing it to like the MySpace statuses. Were you on?
MySpace. Yeah.
So when you go to your DMs on Instagram and people have the little thing in the balloon where they could type in like a status. And I see all these emo statuses in there, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I don't.
And like, that's fine, but like, do you just want people to reach out and say, hey, are you okay? Or all you'll get through it. Or,
the hospital band, and it's like, I'm in the hospital.
Yeah, they just take the picture of that.
It's like, go get your UTI checked. Shut the fuck up. Like, enough with the damn hospital band. I can't. I'm sorry, and it may be just cynical and just I don't know. I have very little patience right now for the whole woe is me because we all have the same 24 hours in a day, and it's just maybe maybe it's because I've been around somebody recently who just they love to live in chaos, and I don't think people realize it. Some people just love to live in chaos. You have to have something going wrong to keep your life exciting, or you have to always be sad to look for sympathy, and it's like just we have a computer in our hands. It's a fucking computer. We used to have to go to the library, check a book out, and then just look at what's going on. It's a computer. Figure it out.
What does this mean?
Go get some help. It's now the new trend is go to therapy. Everybody's going to therapy. That's fine. But it's the attention seeking and living in chaos on purpose. It drives me bonkers.
Well, yeah. The attention seeking by always posting something that like,
what was me?
Yeah, like needs engagement. Like, oh, I can't believe this, blah, blah, blah. And it's always the same, like, from what I've noticed, because I will look when someone's doing that. It's the same comments.
Oh, yeah, we're nosy. Like, of course you're going to watch
get through it. No, but I'm thinking, like, I want to see, like, okay, who is this working on? It's usually the same couple people comment, like, oh, you'll get through it. Oh, you're smart and you're beautiful and you'll get that, or whatever it is. And it's what?
I'm just laughing about it.
Okay, you're staring me down, like, what are you trying to say? I'm like, not you.
I know I don't do that. I'll do something funny where it's like I can't get my son on my bed. I need him to go.
Yeah,
and the next clip, he's laying in bed with me. I'm like, yeah, I'm a weak ass bitch. Sorry, I can't.
But that's entertaining.
To me, social media is for entertainment.
Autism moms, let me ask you, like, when your child won't go to bed, like, how do you, you're not trying to make it like, no. I need everybody's help. I got to listen to anybody's advice anywhere, which is, I don't know.
No, I don't take advice from.
From random people on social media? Why? Does that not work?
In general, I just feel like
I say this about career all the time because people will, you're working in different things. Lots of people will ask me advice, and my advice, ironically, to people has always been I've said this I'm going to say it about career, but I feel like it applies in other areas of life. But I've said when it comes to career advice, don't take career advice from anyone who you wouldn't want to switch places with.
That's in life in general.
And it does apply to broader reasons than that. And look, I'm guilty of it too. Like I remember hearing from, not that I listened to it, but like when I was playing music, it's like, well, what you need to do is this, or you need to play here, or you need to, you need to stay in Los Angeles, or you need to leave Los Angeles, or like all these other things. I'm like, these people they're not in music, they don't play music, like they know nothing about this. Like
they know nothing about
you. Yeah, like this is not a valuable opinion at all. Like, great, thanks. I appreciate you who works for a sex toy company telling me like, well, you're never going to get a career in music doing that. That's that's very helpful. Thank you. But
I feel like maybe my trauma created just my overall personality because you can't tell me anything. If I don't ask for your advice, I'm not going to listen to it because I don't respect it. Yeah. And it's just like you can't tell me. I had somebody who was actually an old mentor, and I respected this person. And the more you hang out with somebody, you start to pick apart their flaws, and some people use that to manipulate you. And this person flat out told me, your spouse is not supposed to be your best friend. And I was like,
Was
huh?
it a guy? Because a lot of guys
it was
say
a woman.
that. Really?
A married woman.
Wow.
30-something years they've been married. And
heard that from many guys.
when you see, for other people, because I know you see it, when you see me and Jacob interact, it's just, you can tell that's my homie for life.
Yeah.
Like, we could get a divorce and that's homie for life.
There's a closeness there
that nobody can touch.
Yeah.
But then that creates jealousy in people that don't have that. So you may be 30 plus years married, but the fact that you're telling me your spouse is not supposed to be your best friend. And I'm looking at them like, the fuck they are? That's what? I'm gonna tell him you said that. You know, it's like don't try to don't.
And what's your spouse supposed to be? Your breeding partner, and that's it?
I mean,
the person who pays the bills? No, I'm just wondering. Like, I hear that too. Like when guys have said it, it's never been like a one-on-one where like a guy has said it to me. Like guys have said it in like group conversation, stuff like that. And I never really dug in. And it hasn't really happened recently, or maybe I would kind of like probe and just be like, "Oh, well, then what should they be like? What do they be?" Or even try to make a joke of it.
But it's like to be with for the rest of your life.
But it's like, well, then what are they supposed to be to you? A business partner? Like, is it a merger and that's it? Like, marriage is a merger on some level, but like, do you want to be?
Sometimes I do believe it's a contract.
There are. I know people who have stayed. Like, I've had friends whose parents have stayed together when they got. Like, I remember when I was younger, and there was like one of my friends that she was talking about her parents who basically lived separate lives, but they were in their 50s at that point, and she said they're not gonna they're not gonna like leave and start over. Yeah, but they weren't gonna like get divorced and like go back out and blah blah. Like they stayed married as a partnership, but that's it. But they did build a life together. They did have a couple of kids together. So I mean, there was something there. And if they didn't want to start over again, I kind of understand that. I mean, it's sad, but ultimately it is their choice if they don't want to.
But that also falls into the fact that you're going to fall in love with different phases of your partner.
So
as they change, either
the ups
you
and
could
downs,
change
what
with,
we're talking
either
about.
you could change with them. You know what I mean? But yeah.
There's a lot of and the relationship advice. I mean, not to get on a social media tear.
I know.
So much, but that's everyday life. It is.
Yeah.
It's out there. There are very few people who don't participate in it, but it's a reality that's out there.
I'm not a fan of attention seekers and people that just try to give you advice when they don't even have their own life under control.
Right. It is. But I'll tell you, I'll admit to this. So this was something that I'll admit, like I had the wrong impression about somebody based on a couple of things I saw on social media. Do you know who David Goggins is?
Nope.
Okay. So former Navy SEAL who has he has a ton of military accolades, has a huge Instagram following, I think 13 million followers or something like that. And I was aware of who he was and would see little clips about things he said. And I always interpreted it as, oh, this is a guy who's angry. This is a guy who's mad at himself and pushes himself. Like there's something
I feel like I heard of him and I haven't.
You would know him if I showed him to you.
Is he called the Angry Therapist?
No, that's I've sent you some stuff from him.
Yeah, I think I followed him.
Kim. Yeah, I think I've sent you some stuff about him.
I liked his stuff.
That's David Goggins. You've probably seen him on stuff. No? Okay. Well, anyway. So I saw some video clips of him talking. I thought, oh, that's someone I took it as he's angry, he hates himself. Oh, that's somebody who's like unhealed and he's like pushing, like he's punishing himself for whatever reason. But I was intrigued enough where I got the audiobook of his first book, which came out in about 2018. And I listened to it and I enjoyed it so much. The same week I got his second book, his audiobook. I listened to both books in 1 week. And in this case, I was completely wrong because his whole thing is about pushing yourself because you're capable of more.
That's the one that lost all the weight.
Well, that's right? Part of it, yeah. Like he wanted to be he was in the Air Force and he became a Navy SEAL, so he got super fit. He's been an ultra marathon runner and has done a lot of this stuff. Because he was 24, he was working for he was like an extermination company. And he was overweight and all this. And here's something, as much as I enjoyed the book, and the audiobook was great, by the way, because like him and his co-author and the guy who reads the audiobook, there were separate chapters in the audiobook where they would talk about what was discussed and kind of further elaborate on like on the book and the stories. So it's kind of like part audiobook, part podcast, like two-person conversation.
Really cool.
So the audio experience was even better. It was better than actually reading it because they're actually getting into more stuff that they didn't necessarily get into in the book because of, for the sake of, editing and, keeping the book a certain length, whereas the audiobook could be, I think the first one was 13 hours.
What
and the
the
second
fuck?
one was like 11 hours.
Jeez.
But I like that because I like detail and I like kind of doing a deep dive. And I did a deep dive, the 24 hours of listening in 1 week, for both books. And what I really dug about it was it's about like pushing yourself further. Like we all have these capabilities. And this is a dude who overcame like some serious like childhood trauma, like significant trauma, and does not disregard that. And like it's not the anger or all of those negative experiences from childhood that are like driving him now. It's having overcome that and built the momentum from overcoming all of that made me realize, I was completely wrong about him. I thought this was someone who was unhealed, who was like punishing himself. And I was completely wrong. And one of the things he said, and I think you're going to love this. So if you haven't heard of him, I think this is going to resonate with you in a big way because I love this. And take the religious part out of this. But as somebody who believes in God, he said his interpretation of, dying, going to heaven is like there's this version, like this plan like God has for you, like the way your life is supposed to go. And if you're living up to that or hopefully exceeding it, he said, my thing is I want to exceed whatever God has planned for me. I want to do better than what he wants for me to accomplish in my life. But he said he imagines when you die, go to heaven, meet God. I'm obviously paraphrasing. But he says, this is the life you lived. And this is the life you were supposed to have. So he said, I could have seen like, I stayed overweight as an exterminator, died younger than I should have from, health concerns, all those other things. But instead it's like lost the weight, became a Navy SEAL, became a marathon runner, became, an author, a speaker, and accomplished all of these things. And he said, that's also what drives me. It's like, 'cause I could have had this life had I not changed anything. Because he's now 50 years old. So he said, I could have spent, the second half of my life, it could have been just as bad as the first had I not made this change. So the idea of like, this is a life you could have lived. He said, I would never want to see what the life is that I could have had.
Yeah.
Had I not done that. And I was like, wow, that's actually really, really cool.
Yeah.
The idea that, think about if you got shown something like that, like when you're no longer on this plane of existence and you see like, this is life you could have had. If you would actually listen to the voice that like your inner voice, like, no, go do this. No, get up. Go to the gym.
I feel like there's a
go back to
certain
school.
type of
Pursue that.
Selfishness you have to have to put yourself first and do all of that. And that's what I struggled with this past year is that I didn't put myself first because I was always considering everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's where the anger comes from, where it gets like abrasive because it's like, why, So I like that.
Yeah. I thought that was very, very cool.
That's really good.
All right. While we're lamenting, let's have a couple of things. Well, talking about death, hey, why not? Let's keep it light. No, I'm just kidding. But what, if you had to choose a last meal, what would it be?
A last meal?
Yeah, you're not on death row. You're not gonna be executed. Nothing like that. But if you got to choose, like what your last meal was gonna be, the last meal of your life, what would it be? No, it's gonna appear. And like can't be like like I couldn't say like my my aunt's this, my grandmother's this, like something that can actually be
chicken tikka.
Yeah,
I love Indian food.
That's it.
Ooh, white rice, yeah.
Chicken tikka, white rice. That's it. That seems highly doable.
I'm hungry.
Can we wrap up so we go for tacos? Yes, we will.
Chicken tikka. I love chicken tikka.
That's it?
Butter chicken. Yeah.
Dessert?
With the naan bread, garlic naan, so you could just scoop it. Oof.
Any alcohol with it? Or coffee? Or
Why can't you drink alcohol anymore?
Man, you're dying. Who cares? This is it.
Oh my God.
I mean, not literally this second. I mean, we're all dying every moment, but still. No, this is your last meal. Like you could have, you like an appletini? Like, go ahead. It's like an AMF. Well, they don't call them AMFs out here, but like a Long Island iced tea. It's like a blue Long Island.
Oh, I like blue
on the
Long
West
Islands.
Coast, they call it adios, motherfucker. But it's a blue Long Island.
Really?
Yeah, or AMF.
Why?
But I don't know. My sister told me that actually. Because she's out in California.
I guess after a few
and
drinks,
we were talking
it's
about
like,
it, and she was describing this drink that was made for her as an adios motherfucker. I was like, that's a blue Long Island. Like, they must just call it something different.
That's
out there.
all alcohol. That is
So you want an LIT
that's
with your chicken tikka?
good. No, that's disgusting.
Well, I'm asking.
Imagine how those flavors mix.
Chicken tikka, white rice, naan bread. That's it.
Yes.
And then
It's just
Ash
so
shuffles
good.
off this mortal coil.
Maybe with some
No dessert. Nope.
rice. What's it called?
No plain
rice
yogurt.
pudding.
Rice pudding.
I like rice pudding. You don't like rice pudding?
No, I do like rice pudding. I'm just surprised. That's
Puerto Rican version though.
which is what?
Not because
What? No rice.
the way no stupid. The way they make it sometimes. Other people, I know
Arroz pudding.
some people put cloves in it.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Some people put raisins. I don't like that either.
So what's the Puerto Rican
I
version?
don't know, just fucking cinnamon and like it's simple.
Just rice pudding with cinnamon on it. That's it.
However, it's made. Oh, you heard that crack?
No.
You didn't?
No. But you're much more awake now than you have been. I'm proud of you. The yawn count has been much lower than it was in the pre-show.
You're gonna clip all that stuff in. I know you are.
Yeah, because I'm going to make myself look boring, which is what some people are probably saying anyway.
No, as long as we start.
If
talking,
the haters exist.
as long as we talk, it's fine.
Of course it is, as she adjusts herself once again.
Yeah. So more questions. Go ahead.
More questions? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
why not?
engaging you.
What?
Did you have, okay, how about this? Engaging, talking, engaging
I didn't
in
hear what you said.
conversation. Wow.
Yeah.
She's tired and deaf.
Shut up.
Did you have a comfort food during quarantine?
Oh my god. Corned beef and hash.
Really?
Yo, with the crescent rolls.
Yeah.
So it's corned beef and hash with crescent rolls and the fried egg right on top.
Really? That was a comfort. That was
It's
like
a
the thing you
comfort
were
food. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a comfort food.
I can't eat corned beef. I can't eat beef at all anymore. So I
Really?
haven't had corned
It's
beef
so
in ages.
good. Dog food.
It's like pastrami on
It's
occasion.
dog food. You
It
just
kinda is.
you right out of the can, right into the frying pan.
Wow.
Just
Or like
pick it
cranberry
up.
sauce, like it's still in the shape of the can when you dump it out.
That's so good. That's
Oh my
gross.
God.
Canned meat. Come on. Jeez. But it was really. It's just comfort food. I don't know why.
Wow. Mine was cereal. I ate cereal all day long
not a fan
because
of
it was so
cereal.
cheap. I don't really either. I don't really eat cereal like that. I don't eat like a steady. I skip breakfast, frankly, a lot.
What's your favorite cereal?
I can't pick one. I mean,
What's the one you will eat every time you see it there?
Lucky Charms. It was Lucky Charms or Golden Grams. Those were the two that I ran to.
You
Yeah.
know the marshmallows?
Yes. What's wrong with Lucky Charms? Are you hating on Lucky Charms?
No, it just caught me off guard.
What did you think I was going to say?
Captain Crunch.
Yeah, so what's
Captain
the
Crunch
fucking
is the
difference?
best. It's just the roof of your mouth. Gets all
that's the
fucked up.
problem. Yeah.
It
No,
gets
I
so
did.
messed up.
Well, cereal. It was really, especially because a lot of people out of work.
Remember
myself
Smacks?
included. Honey Smacks, yeah,
Yeah.
with the frog.
Yes.
God knows what that had to do with cereal, but everybody needed a mascot, I guess. But
There may be some underlying something with Smacks.
yeah, marketing.
We should Google it. I remember it had like this type of, it wasn't aluminum foil, but a different type of, this is way back.
Okay.
It had a
way
different-
back.
it-
She says you're
It
10
had
years
it
younger
had
than
a
me.
different bag that you put it in.
Yeah, it was like a
It was-
foilish
yeah.
bag. It wasn't plastic.
Crazy. I
bag.
wonder why.
Maybe it stuck to the plastic. I don't know. It could be because the texture maybe didn't serve because it was a coated cereal. Maybe
Yeah.
that didn't work. I don't know.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Lucky Charms and Golden Grams I ate a lot during quarantine because it was cheap too. You're also able to buy 2 family-sized boxes
I
for
know.
$6 or something. So, I would eat cereal all the time,
I
all
always,
hours
I
of the
always
day.
tell my family,
That was my
save me
comfort
the last bowl of Captain Crunch. Of course they don't do it. Just save me the last, eat the whole box. I don't care. Save me the last bowl. Never happens.
With a thimble of milk in the carton.
Oh, my daughter does that. She pisses me off. She will pour so much milk and then not drink the milk. Drink the milk. That's the best
Cereal
part.
milk is great. They sell cereal milk in bottles now.
They do? That's
oh,
disgusting.
Yeah. Why?
You got to eat the cereal. You got to have the whole.
Well, I get
You got to
that,
have the
but,
whole
if
thing. You
you're
don't
in
eat it. And
look, the whole country's
I look crazy. You can tell I
pre-diabetic
get
at
tired.
minimum. So
Literally.
So we have
Literally.
to. I mean, it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk. There's all sorts of milk
That's
you can
insane.
get.
Just put some cinnamon and sugar in your regular milk and heat it up. There you go. Stupid. Gotta market everything.
People are dumb enough to buy it, so why wouldn't they?
Why, America? Really? Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk?
People are going why America is such a great title. People are going to assume it's a political episode. It's not.
No, it's just us rambling about fucking cereal. Exercising.
You're talking about exercising, goals.
Me getting pissed off about people playing the victim.
Cereal.
Jesus.
Wow.
I'll get canceled.
Maybe. Why, America?
Whatever.
Why, as we sit here in our socks judging everybody?
We are.
We are.
This is judgy.
Judging people hard.
Oh, well.
No, we're not. We're talking about growth.
I'm not
and
as
some
nice
stuff
as
that
I
can be
used to be.
uncomfortable.
I will have to say that. And I don't regret it. I don't. I don't.
Okay.
I feel like let's take out nice. Kind.
I mean, but you refine it as you go along. I mean, who is the same as they used to be?
I know.
You know, I in my head, I'm still 22, but I mean, I'm certainly not the person I was when I was 22.
Yeah.
I've evolved. I'm not the person I was 10 years ago.
I just feel like
5 years ago. I'm not speaking of
disappointment.
2020. I'm not the person I was in 2020. Of
Yeah.
course not. I'm not the person I was 5 years ago. I'm the person I was 3 years ago. You know, it's like that. And again, kind of like adjusting course as you go along. I guess we can end on a therapeutic-ish note, but that's what we're supposed to do. There's so many people. I know. I've heard too many people in my life. I don't want to say I know too many people. Excuse me, but I've heard so many people who have just been like, you know, this is my life, and like that's it. Like I got, you know, I have my job,
Oh my
I
God.
have my spouse, I have my kids. Like that, you know, this is it. This is
gives
going to
me
be my life,
hives.
and I'm like, that's it. I don't. But that's another reason you and I can, and so many of our friends, like we're all, as far as we're concerned, we're still on the incline.
Yeah.
So-
I could never just settle. Nothing about me is. I could never settle,
like I don't
ever.
know. I want to be as close to empty as possible
Settling,
when I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many people I know who are just like, yeah, this is it. You know, which is again dangerous in 2025. Not to get on a separate tear,
Maybe like
but
it
it's
for
like
now or it. Because, you know, you could just be content. Like, I remember when I was in my business and my friend's like, what's your next step? I'm like, I like this. Like, this is it for now. Like, I like this. So maybe something has to happen in order. You know what I mean?
That's
There has to be
exactly it.
sometimes
Like
has to be a
something needs
catalyst.
to kind of shake you. Yeah, there has to be a catalyst for you to want to change something
Yeah.
or improve something
With
or
me, it was the
redo.
fucking giggle, bitch.
But it takes that. So it takes that from the outside,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like
It takes getting your feelings hurt. But
I had somebody, this was over the
Right.
summer, because I'm talking about like me not participating in social media. I had someone say like, you know, oh, you've been in a slump. And I'm like, I've been in a slump. I just haven't been posting on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, I've been using that time for other things. It's not like I have nothing good to say, so I'm not posting on Instagram. Like, you know, that's in some emo ass way. I'm like, no,
Dark
it hasn't been
eyeliner,
that.
side
Yeah,
bang.
exactly. Like my bangs. I got my hair, you know, swept down in front of my eyes. I'm like, yeah, life's a series of disappointments.
Oh my God.
It's not like, no, I haven't been spending time on there because I've been doing other things. Thankfully, I've been devoting my
Yeah.
time to other things. It's not like I could post about my day all the time, or I could post things I find funny and interesting and
well,
all that.
I'm big
but it's
on
like,
holding things
you know,
close to the chest until there's a big reveal.
and that's
'Cause
exactly
outside
it.
forces
There's
can
so
mess
many, and that's been another thing for me. There's so many things that I could have said, like, this is happening, this is happening. And I've seen a lot of people do that because unexpected things have happened. I mean, I'm telling you, on my way here, I got some news about like, well, that's going to change the plans that were supposed to happen between like now and February.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, okay, now I need to readjust. Nothing to do with me, but
Right.
because of something going on with somebody else, I'm just like, okay, so now this needs to be, now we need to change course because now I can't work on this in the timeline I want to, or with this particular person or whatever. But, you know, it's not to do with me, but it's something where it's like, okay, I'm at the effect of this thing. What am I going to do about it?
Yeah.
I could cry about it. I could talk about it right now, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not trying to like draw attention to anything
Right.
like that. And I'm not even saying it's anything negative. It's just like something positive happened for this person. So now I'm like, do I wait until they can work on this thing with me, or do I have a conversation about them and then maybe go with somebody else? Do I do something in the meantime? Like there are a bunch of, you know, there are those
I
variables.
don't wait. I feel like waiting hinders the
That's-
plan,
well,
right?
the-
I mean, and I get it. It's depending on what it is, but I feel like when you have to, there's just something about stopping where you're at to wait for somebody to catch up when it's like, how long is it going to take for you to catch up?
I will say that. And that's one of the reasons
so that's why I
I'm,
said just keep going.
this is fresh. So like I said, I was on the way here, so I am in show mode. So I haven't kind of like taken
You haven't
stock of
processed
everything
it
yet. Yeah. But I will say that's been, I've been having to reassess with a lot of things this year. I mean, there've been some opportunities that have come up, which have been great. Literally in the last 2 months, 2 things I was approached about, which were awesome to be part of. More about that when I can share, because I don't like announce. Like I said, I don't want to announce stuff until it's done, or I can say, like, you could see it. Like, I mean, that's why even like literally I announced on Monday, like, Cape's coming back this Friday, because I don't want to do the announcement's exciting, but you want to actually follow through. And when there's so many variables, that's why I'm like, I'm going to make sure all the shit is done. And it's true. Like, this is the first episode we're doing since the show came back the day after. But I'm like, I got 4 episodes in the can already. Like, great. Now I can say, all right, the show's coming back definitively October 10th. But there are so many things I've had to that haven't come to be because of other people. Yeah. Either I was waiting on other people or things that were outside of my control. And I'm at a point where I'm trying to figure out, okay, what can I do? How can I either pivot to something else, or how can I change my vision of how this thing is supposed to be, as opposed to not doing things that I want to do and reaching some goals I want to reach, or working on projects I want to create because of other people. Unlike this, which again is why I said not to take another lap around it, but it's like, how many times have I said this year? I was like, I want the show to come back. I want to do the show. And like, you've been up for like, you just tell me when you can do it. And I'm like, but I want to wait until people are available. This I want to do because it's fun.
Right.
So I've been waiting until like, can't do it during the summer because everyone's going crazy, and now it's the fall and things are calming down. But right now everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. Yeah. Everybody needs the relief that this show provides. Hopefully you find that too. So that's why it's like, we're doing it now. And that's, another thing where it's like, well, I don't want to do the show and have it suck. I'd rather wait and then do it. So
you want to be in the right mindset too.
Well, I also knew like I can work on it. I'm very much like, as I talked about recently, I found I'm best when I'm creatively monogamous, which is like, I'm working on one thing that's in front of me right now. Yes, there are other things I'm doing while Cape is going, but like, my project right now is working on Cape for these 10 weeks. And not to say I won't be able to do other things, but like, this is the creative project that's in front of me right now.
I get it.
I do best when I do that. I'm most satisfied when I'm just working on, when I have something that's in front of me and I can work on that, as opposed to spreading myself too thin, because I get very frustrated where I'm like, I'm working on 4 things and the progress is slow on all 4 of them, as opposed to working on one thing and then getting it done.
Yeah, that's why I paused my show for a year.
Yeah, you have to.
Because I had to focus on my business, and then it's actually inspired a lot. It's there going to be a revamp, but a whole name change, and then we're going to be working on. Chris and I are going to be collab and working on it.
We're going to be.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It is. So we'll say, so there's no link to share anything for Expose with Ash or anything. You know what? Her social media links are
the
in
name's
the description.
changing too.
Well, everything's changing, but even that, to kind of step back and reassess, like, that's important.
It's very important.
We could have spent the entire hour talking about that, but it's like, with everything going on, it's, do I half-ass this, or do I figure out what I want to do next?
Right.
And like, the Expose with Ash you did in 2023 is not the podcast you want to do in 2025, 2026.
Nope.
Exactly. And that's come about through the experience.
Takes time.
Exactly. So thank you very much for sitting down with me and doing all this.
Of course.
We did an hour and a half despite our best efforts. But your yawning decreased. I'm very impressed.
It did. As long as I'm talking. If I'm not engaged, I'm like,
we were talking plenty in the pre-show. Don't kid yourself.
I know.
Folks, support on Patreon. Become a patron. Become a Cape Crusader. Use the link.
How do you just click the link and
you go to Patreon, you click and it'll bring you to the Cape page, and then you can just sign up $5 a month and you'll get all the bonus everything.
Awesome.
So if you want to watch yourself yawn, kick me $5 and then you can watch it again.
I lived it, so
I know. I don't mean you. I'm selling it to you, but
I'm a little worried about like
selling it to them.
The pre-show when Jacob.
Oh, stop it! I'm not going to put that out there. That's not.
Like,
No. When it's time for extortion, that will be revealed. But
when it's time for the blackmail, as if I haven't been blackmailed enough.
I got stuff in all you motherfuckers. It's great.
Oh man.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there has to be something. Speaking of death, this is going to be the note we go out on. Something about death.
All
but there has to be. Yeah, I've said like there needs to be something like when it comes to like equivalent of the nuclear codes, where like 2 people need to each one needs to have a key that needs to be turned at the same time and enter in a code to access like the Cape archive, because there's too much in there that.
Oh fuck.
Oh, okay, we're ending on
Jinxed it.
One last yawn. I didn't say shit. I'm here talking about.
What
the
about
extensive
death now?
archive.
You had a question about that?
No, I'm just saying, like, so I need to figure out who gets the Cape archive when I'm gone. Like, who's going to oversee that? Because there's some valuable stuff in there, including what you and Jacob are carrying
hours worth of stuff.
Oh, you don't even know. because you only came along,
Yeah.
Annual years, 3 years ago to be
Has it
part of
been
the
3
show.
years already?
Only. Well, I mean, 2 years. February of 23. But I mean, 2023, 24, and 25. We're talking about those complete
crazy?
years. So it actually is 3 years, basically.
3 years.
It feels like longer,
It feels
but it also
so much
feels
longer.
super short at the same time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of depth that we've covered. And there's so many hours before you even came on the scene. Trust. Anyway, subscribe, like, share, all that other stuff. We hope you've enjoyed this. We hope you take something away from us talking about the peaks and valleys. Don't, give yourself grace. It happens.
Read a book.
Life goes in phases. Yeah, read a book. Stop watching movies. That's Ash's real advice. It's like, don't watch movies. Read a book and journal or something like that.
Well, I don't journal.
No, I don't journal every day either. I did for a long time. That was helpful at a time.
Until somebody finds it. And you're
well.
like, this person's a whore.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I found the Ash Lazoo burn book.
Terrible. My father found one time.
When you
It
were
was
like,
terrible.
When you were growing up?
There was a picture drawn of him where it's just big eyes, right? And just him cussing one of us out. And I would never forget. He walked into the room and was like, "The fuck is this?"
Wow.
And I was like, you know how you're a kid, you're like, and you're just staring. He goes, "So this is how I look?" I will never forget it. I was terrified.
I mean, that'll do it.
Yep. So that stopped me from journaling for a very long time.
I should probably get a bonfire going and get rid of some of my old
That's healing.
journals.
Do it on a full moon.
Oh, I've done a lot of the writing
burn
letters and not
shit.
sending them. That's awesome. That's super helpful. I know it's
that's
like a
so
therapy
helpful.
joke, but it's like
No.
I've done that many times to people just to get it out of me. Like I said, feel the feelings, process and move on. And that's part of processing it. And I'm just like, that kind of helped me get over it. And I'm like, I'm not carrying around this anger anymore. That feels great. So that works.
Write it.
That's
and burn
Ash's advice. Write it and burn it. Now I got to go
Throw
home and burn
sage
some
in
stuff.
that bitch too.
So
Get like a pot, put a little sage, start the fire, then throw shit in there.
really,
Hell yeah.
you should do a tutorial for the
Put
Patreon.
a picture too.
That'd be great.
A tutorial. You have me like. Let me just shut up.
The what's it called? The not bond breaking. What's the ritual called? Cord cutting. That's it. Cord cutting ritual.
How do you know about that? Get off of TikTok.
I know a lot of stuff. What?
TikTok?
I know a lot of stuff.
I hate that they put the video of it. It's like, you're not supposed to do that. You're not
what, like
you're
an
not
instructional
supposed to
video?
you're not supposed to show the actual
I've
work
heard
that
about
you're
it.
doing.
Well, yeah, because there's some negative repercussions. There are like
Crazy.
repercussions for that,
You were
right?
crazy.
Okay. All right, let's go get tacos.
Yes.
Like, follow, subscribe, all that. If you made it to the end of the show, so obviously you're liking and subscribing and all that stuff. But please give the video the thumbs up. Give us 5 stars on whatever podcast app you're listening on. And we'll be back next Monday for yet another episode. So until next time, for Ash Lazoo, this is Chris Aballo, and this was yet another experiment.